What's going on, guys, and welcome to the beach. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. First off, I want to say thank you to my new Patreon supporters. We got Mike and Cyril. Mike's the one who requested this video, and my plan is to start a tutorial series and releasing them up until 2017, and after that I plan on doing more. We'll just see how it goes. Anyways, let's get right into it. I'm going to show you how to do it on my bodyboard and my surfboard. They're pretty much the same thing, slightly different. With duck diving, it's important to have a board that's appropriate to your size and weight, and obviously if you're a beginner, you're going to want a bigger board and you can work down to a smaller board, but that's ultimately the deepest you're going to be able to dive, is getting a board that appropriately fits your weight and size. I think one of the main things I see that people do wrong is they don't time their duck dive right. You want to make sure that you submerge your board and you're ready to duck dive before the wave gets there, probably 3 or 4 seconds before. So the first step to duck diving is submerging your board. You want to submerge your board underneath the water, and you want your arms somewhat loose. They don't have to be locked in yet. And if I'm on a bodyboard, I generally keep my hands up this point right here, and as I get the front down, I lock my knee into one of these channels right here, usually this one, but sometimes it just goes wherever. As I lock both of those in and I have all my body weight pushing the board down, my right hand slides back right here, left hand stays forward, and at that point is where you want to take your arms from a somewhat loose situation and you want to lock them in like that and push your board basically as far down as you can go. If you don't lock those arms down, the board's going to want to move left, right, wherever it wants to. Once you lock your arms in, you have full control of your board submerging underwater. Your chin's going to be touching the water, your ass is probably going to be right below the surface, and what you can do is actually lift your butt up out of the water slightly. At this point, you let your body weight take you under. Your head gives you a lot of momentum going down, and as your arms are locked in about this position, you want to start to slowly push it out like that as the wave comes over you. And as the wave comes over, your board is naturally, and your body is naturally going to take a dipping curve like this and pop you out the back. It's generally how it goes down on a bodyboard. I'm going to show you how to do it on a surfboard, which is the same exact thing. When it comes to the surfboard, it's generally the same idea. You got a little bit more space to work with, but ultimately your hands stay up top. You want to sink the board well before the wave comes to you, where your chin is touching the water. At that point, 90% of your body is underwater, and all you have to do is duck your head and get a little bit of extra momentum. So like I said before, once you submerge your board, you want to start throwing your knee back right on the traction pad. This will allow you to sink the bottom half and balance out the front with the back. You want to lock your arms and let your body's momentum sink you underneath the wave. Just a quick recap. Once you go from the prone position, pushing outwards, your arms are generally loose until your chin reaches to about where the water is. At this point, you can lift your butt up out of the water, gaining a little bit extra momentum. Drop your head and shoulders as you lock your arms, pushing out and forward with the board. At that point, you take your knee off of the board and allow yourself to resurface underneath the wave. The wave will naturally kind of spit you out the back, as it does if you're far enough underneath the surface. A good way to practice on your bodyboard or your surfboard is to go from a prone position to a sitting position on your board. That'll allow you to get comfortable with your board underwater. Ultimately, that's what it's doing. So as you're learning, be patient with it. As you get better surfing, you can upgrade your board and get to something that's similar to your size. Once again, I just want to thank all my viewers, my subscribers, my Patreon supporters. Everyone's been a huge inspiration, a huge help. As I get closer and closer to being a full-time creator, I have more time to be out here doing stuff like this. So thank you guys, and I'll see you when I see you. I tend to prematurely duck dive quite often, a little bit too early, but as long as you go deep enough,